what you see here is the back side of the toe board. I've already done a little bit of trimming on it. There was a lip on this edge that stood up that's supposed to go down and touch the rocker panel. Cut that off to make it sit flat, and then I cut a little bit off on this edge to make it kind of fit in there. I then went in and marked the dotted line from the back side underneath the car, and then I came in and measured an inch off of that for the solid line, which is going to be my initial trim line. Now, what I'm trying to do with that inch is not repeat past mistakes. I'm trying to give myself enough cushion on the lines that I don't end up short of material like I have in a couple of spots, especially in this corner. So those compound corners that usually give me trouble, so I'm trying to leave a little extra, trying to not repeat past mistakes. Alright, bring you back. Okay, so here's the first check fit in the car. I trimmed both the upper side and this right side an inch above the line I marked from when I had it in here the first time. And actually it's a good thing I did, because inadvertently, again, this is the first time I've done this and I'm not very bright. So I put this in here over the top of the floor pan, and actually it's supposed to tuck underneath. So I cut it an inch high over here, tucked it in here, check fit it. You can see it all looks pretty good. But then I went on the back side and looked at that edge, and it's about maybe 1/4 to 3/8 too big, which means the inch that I left was just enough. So it's a good thing that I left that inch, because I had forgotten about tucking it down, and when I tucked it down, it pulled it down a little bit. So it's in real good shape right now. I just got to trim probably, like I said, about 1/4 to 3/8 on that side, and then I've marked the back there, and we'll see where that one lies. I think that one actually looked like it was about dead on, so I'll probably trim about 1/8 back. I'll probably trim about 7/8 back to about within 1/8 of the line that's on the back, and then work my way down. This edge looks real good. Once again, so the panel again from, is it CHL, bought from year one. The grooves on it, the lines on it are actually really good. You know, the little divots there, the curves match up real well, all the way through. Even that right below the headlight, the bright dimmer switch, that little crease in there looks really good, accurate to the original. The only thing it's lacking is, you can see, I had to do this on the other side, is that lip is supposed to come out to even with that torque box piece, and it's short. It's got the little kind of raised edge that shows you where the floorboard's supposed to come to, but then it's supposed to extend, I don't know, probably 5/8 out from there, and I had to weld an extra edge on that side. Looks like I'm going to have to do the same to bring that black edge out to the edge of that red, because that's where it's actually supposed to end up, to make it look right from the bottom. And again, if I was just doing it quick and dirty, I would slap it in there and do it just the way it is, but I want it to look pretty close to original. I want you to have to strain to figure out that it's been replaced, and I think I've accomplished that on that side, and I want to do the same on this side. So that's what I'm going for. So that's where we are. I'm going to do some more trimming. So I've got the initial fitment in there. I got the 3 clecos located so I can get it back into a repeatable position. The lines look pretty good. Already got a little bit of a gap right there. Need to widen that out, and then just keep trimming around the edges to get it to fit right. So that'll be next time. But I made some relief cuts underneath on the toe board there, because there was a spot weld underneath right at the edge, and I'm going to bend that tab up just a little bit, re-weld some of that stuff, and make sure I don't lose any strength underneath there, and then put all that back together and weld those reliefs back in so that it looks good. Alright, I'll bring you back. Okay, so here we are. We've got the toe board fit in there. All gaps around the edges are in good shape. They don't really line up right now because it's not in its final resting place. I've got just 2 Clecos in there right at the moment because I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this. Anyway, that's what I did today is got these edges ground down and lined up along the edge. I did re-weld the entire torque box with all the little locations that I had kind of nicked. I welded that and grinded it down, and then put a spot weld back up in there that I had kind of cut some relief. So all of this will be done, and now what I have to do is I have to actually put the lip on the front of this toe board to match up with the end of the torque box, because like the other one, I don't know if you've watched the other videos, it comes with the little bead rolled at the end, but that's as far as it goes, and it actually goes all the way where that bead it tucks under about another, I don't know, 5/8 of an inch underneath that lip to that other bead. So I'll have to add that on just like I did on the other side. So that'll be the next step. Alright, we'll bring you back. Just thought I'd catch you up here. I, of course, have cut out the old toe board that had the rust in it. I've primed, I've cut, trimmed, primed, and painted the new one. I got the spot weld locations drilled out, and now as you can see, I've welded those spots back in, over there, across there, and then 3 across there. Put those back in, and then I've started my tacking all the way around. This one is going in really nicely, and Eric will be happy to see. Look, I didn't screw up a compound corner, so it's actually really nice. I was actually surprised, and I'm getting better at this. I'm not getting as impatient. In the past, I was trying to just lay down and do all this stuff at once and just work my way around. But what I've been doing is really taking my time. It wouldn't be good for trying to make money on my own, but since it's my own project, I can just take my time. I've been, I'll just go and tack one spot, make sure that both the panels are aligned, top to bottom, and then tack that in place, and then move over a little bit, do the same thing and tack it in place, and just eventually working my way around. And as I manipulate the metal, kind of bang things in and out just a little bit, line it up. One of the keys that I've noticed is you've got to give the metal a place to go. Something I was also doing before is if you see you got the curves in here. Try to point without losing focus. Yeah, right, so the curves in here, if you try and tack down here and then tack back up here as well, it makes it hard to get this corner right because the metal has no place to go. So if you work yourself one direction the whole time, it gives the metal places to go, and it can adjust itself a little bit as it expands and contracts and moves when you tack it in place. It does move, and that's one thing I wasn't really accounting for. And so just working your way and pre-planning how you're going to put your tack welds in so that the metal can adjust itself, and then you can go and adjust the metal afterwards. It's like I said, it's hard to tack here, and then if this corner doesn't match up, it wants to either move that way or move that way, but since you constrained it in both places, it doesn't really have a place to go. So you're really fighting it. So if you do it here and then manipulate it a little bit, and then tack it there, and then manipulate it a little bit, tack it there, and so on and so forth, it really, and you know, I'm by no means an expert. This is just what worked for me, and it seemed to work really, really well. And I may have just gotten lucky in this one, but this one had a lot of compound curves, as you can see, as you go around, ups and downs and arounds and all that kind of stuff. But it has gone in really, really well. And I'm really, really happy with it up to this point. So what I'll be doing now is just you know, grinding and welding and wash, rinse, and repeat. All right. So that's where we are right now. Oh, I did, you can see I cut out about 2 or 3 inches here right at the front. It was just getting too hard to put that in while trying to bend this up and manipulate it, and it did have a couple small rust spots that were becoming evident, so I you know, had to spend $90 to buy this entire piece to get those last 2 inches. I thought about trying to, you know, just make it myself for that, but there are a couple curves and stuff in there that I just didn't want to try and deal with. So I thought I'd take the easy way out and buy the piece off that I needed and weld it in place. Yeah, so that's where we are. I'll bring you back when I have some more. Okay, so here's where we are. So where we got to today. You can see I got everything welded in and then everything ground down, and it looks really good. Not nearly as much waviness as I had on previous one because I took my time. Looks like the curves all match up pretty well. I don't think, again, you'll be able to tell once I get some short strand on it. I still got a pinhole, and I'll go through and clean up pinholes as best I can. I did notice there was several of them. So I'll get to doing that later. But for now, you know, I'm really happy with the way it went in, and it's real solid and nice and clean. Alright, that's where we are right now. Okay, so what you can see is I've got a piece of the floorboard cut, spliced in there, trimmed to fit. I got a piece from Plastic Industries to replace it. I was gonna make one myself, but the problem was that I couldn't find anybody that had a bead roller to do that. So just went ahead and bit the bullet and bought the thing and trimmed it down for the 3 inches that I needed. You live and you learn. So it is trimmed to fit right now. I'm getting ready to clean it up, sand it down a little bit, and put some weld-through primer on it so that we can tack it in place. So that will be the next step, and we'll bring you back when I have some more progress. Okay, so here we are. Got some initial, all the stitch welds all the way around. That panel is not going anywhere. It is all in place. Ground it all down. I need to do the finish welding, you know, find the pinholes, and then finish grind it, and then it'll be ready to coat along with that piece with a little bit of the fiberglass filler to just go over the top of the seams and clean it up, and then it'll be ready to prime and we'll move on. Yeah, so it was a good day's work getting all that in there. It came out really, really, really well. I don't know that I've ever had a panel come together like that. The welds, it just kind of worked. I didn't get a lot of blow through. Everything kind of came together. I took my time and just adjusted the pieces of metal back and forth as I moved along, and let it cool plenty of time in between each little iteration, and I would just go from over there, blah 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 to the other end, and then go off and do something else and wait for it to cool and coming back and do it again. And it really worked out well. Everything is really looking good for that piece. So
until next time. All right. Okay guys, so you can see I got all the grinding done. Put sorry, that was the air compressor venting. Put just some black spray paint on there to keep it from rusting. I'm gonna before I do the short strand and finish sanding and all that stuff, I'm gonna do the passenger or the driver rear floor pan. Get that welded in, that way I can short strand it all at one time. But you can see it looks really good. Not seeing a lot of issues going forward. Let me just clean it up. So you can see the little bit of weld there, but all of that stuff will get covered up with short strand. Edges match up real good. Well, the overlaps, the lips will lip in the tunnel and everything matches up real well. Alright, bring you back.